Hey, Todd here, and welcome to another Acme Machining. Today what we've got going on is we have a Scotch-Brite deburring wheel for the bench grinder. Gonna mount this up, but first thing I gotta do is I gotta make a bushing for this hole. So I like making them out of aluminum, and that way if I have to balance anything, I've got some metal material that I can balance them. So come along, we're gonna have some fun. So I've got this piece of 2.5-inch aluminum, and I'm going to stick this in the, well, imagine that. Got this chuck from AccuSize a couple years back. There's a review on the channel. It's been an excellent chuck for the lathe. Like, really big improvement over what I had. And I really appreciate the quality of the tools that I get from AccuSize. Like, I'm using them from my tool post holder, my lathe chuck. I've got a whole bunch of, I've got collets and everything from them. So I'm real pleased with the stuff they get. You should check them out. Back to the subject at hand here. We have quite a bit sticking out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting a steady rest on. And what I like to do with the steady rest is I like to roll it up as close to the chuck as I can get and set my rollers, because if they're set here, I know my lathe is square because I've checked that. There's another video if you want to see how to check your lathe for squareness, because I've got a test bar for that. So what I do is I set steady rest up here, just the bottom two rollers, because the top one's easy. And then I'll roll this out to the end, and we'll get the top fit in place here. Okay, so we've got the steady rest set up. Well, mostly. Going to shut that off to nip this one up here. Remember, safety first. Lathe is a dangerous tool because they've got lots of power, and if they ever grab hold of your clothing or anything, that's why I don't like wearing sleeves. If they ever grab hold of your clothing, it's going to suck you in there and try to take you round and round, and it'll probably win. You'll break something, and it won't be the lathe. I'm going to see if I can get a good angle here for you folks, and I will bring you back so you can see what's going on. I'm just going to start things up. I'm at 220 RPMs, cutting aluminum. Just going to put a little mark in there where I want to finish up. Play catch up on this shoulder. Speed this up a little bit. give my rollers just a little bit of oil to work in. Things need oil. Nothing to loss. I'm going to cut this down to, I need a 1-inch bushing, and I need it 1 inch long. I'm going to leave a shoulder on the end, 2.5 inches. That'll help support the deburring wheel. It's just it's made out of Scotch-Brite pads, so I don't know how strong they are. I've never used them. Nothing covered in it. They get close, and then I just run in by hand. Out. Face off the front of this, or the end of it, because most of it's getting cut down to 1 inch, and when I get down to the end, I'll face it off before I bore the hole for the drive spindle on the bench grinder. So I'm going to bring you guys back when we get closer. We're getting down to the second to last pass here. We have another 30 to go, so just going to dial in 14 here. Hit the like and subscribe button, folks. It really helps the channel grow, so I sure appreciate it, because I get to keep on doing this. And if you want, drop a note in the comment box. Let me know where you're watching from. See how that feels. And we overshot it. We're going to do that over again, folks. So I'm going to do it off camera, but I'll bring you back when I get back to this stage. Okay, folks, our stock's 1 inch shorter, but our fit is spot on. Like that there is a zero interference fit. What had happened, I believe, is I got a piece of swarf stuck under the edge of my caliper when I measured, and I thought I needed to take that final cut, and that final cut was 7 thou too, so 3.5 thou, small piece of swarf. That's probably what happened. But we got through it. Mistakes happen. I am human. So anyway, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to face this off, because I'm a little bit proud here. So I'm going to face off just a little bit. Now the washer that goes on to hold the wheel has a concave surface, so I am not going to take much off at all. Actually, I'm going to come in here right now. And I've got 33.5, so if I take 35 off, that'd be great. It's going to be nice to have that on the bench grinder. Touch off. I do have to change the direction on my feet. Projects done that I wanted to get done before Christmas, and I'll get this edited and get it on, well, it'll probably be just shortly after Christmas. Hope you guys all have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year, and well, I'll have a prosperous New Year. Look forward to doing many more videos for you folks. Please hit the like button. Let me know that you want to see more of these videos. So we'll make it happen. And there we go. I'm going to zoom you in here. And I have just the smallest little bump there, so I know my my cutter's set on the 0. So anyway, I am going to set this up to bore a hole. Going to make sure that I get an accurate measurement. The last time I looked at that wheel, measured this wheel up quickly and says, oh, it's got a 1-inch bore. No, it's got a 1-inch 10 thou bore. And then I overshot my cut, and I overshot my cut by 7 thou. So I ended up with a 18 thou clearance between that and the wheel. And I want better than that, because the truer it is, the less your bench grinder vibrates. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to get set up to drill, and I'll bring you back. Get a center point going here. just drilling that out about 1.25 inches deep, and then I'm going to run a reamer in it. So I do have a 1/2 inch reamer. My reamers are hit and miss. I could use a lot more reamers, that's for sure, but could use a lot more of everything. We'll give her a little juice, and I'm still at 220, but it's just aluminum, folks. I'm going to give this lots of WD-40, and I am going to slow things down. I'm slowing down to 60 for this. Don't like to go too fast on a reamer. There we go. Just counted the rotation on my tailstock. So every rotation on mine's 100 thou. So I wanted 1.25 inches. I gave it 13 turns. So. Okay, I'm going to set this up for parting, and we'll bring you back. Okay, so what I did is I took the reamer out of the tailstock chuck, and you can see how the fit is there because it doesn't breathe. It'll actually push that back out and work like a piston. So I measured that up. It's exactly the same as the shaft on the bench grinder. And what I'm going to do is I'll get this back up to 220. Okay. A little bit of the deburr there, and I'm just going to touch my edges here with a file. And I'm just going to face off that edge before I part it. Part it for about 1/8 of an inch, so that I've got a good backing on there. Run this up, just leave the drill in it. Switch over to a parting blade. Out of your guys' way. Can't run this up against the chuck to see or anything, so I'm just doing a visual. going to do a counter bore in the back of it afterwards anyway, so. Pretty close to square, close enough, put it that way. Just take a measure in here. I'm just measuring from the edge of my parting blade to the edge of the stock that I want. So nothing special there. Lock our table in. Lots of fluid. Carbide blade or insert on this blade, and it likes to be pushed hard. Reach in here carefully. Close. There we go. Probably got some heat to it, but that's a pretty good finish for a cutoff blade. But I'm going to run this up in my I'm going to run it up in the 3-jaw chuck, put it up in the Acca-sized chuck and clean off the back side of her, and then we will get the little bit of a counter bore. I'll show you, before I counter bore it, I'll show you why I got to counter bore it. So we'll go over to the grinder here and take a quick look. Nice tight fit, just the way you want them. I put that wheel on, and well, maybe I don't need that counter bore. When I was first looking at it, I was looking at it with this washer on the inside, and it sat it out too far, and I wanted to get at least somewheres inside of here. I didn't want to make that recess any bigger, but that looks like it's fine, so there's going to be no counter bore involved here. Now, one thing you do have to notice is there's an arrow on these. They only spin in one direction because there was a direction inside of this center that they had, but I've kind of rubbed that off, getting a real tight fit here. Actually, we have to do something because we're not spinning. We tightened up there. We will find out what's going on and bring you back and show you. Okay, the bolts that hold the, I don't know what you call that. I guess it's a tool rest, and the bolts that hold the tool rest in place were too long and they were hitting the back of the wheel. So I am just going to get a couple washers, and we'll put a couple washers on there off camera, and then we'll get this back up and we'll get her plugged in and spinning for you. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Notice how smooth that is? It's not bolted down, and it's just sitting there. I make these aluminum spacers, arbors, for all my grinding wheels, and if I need to, I grind some off them to balance them. This one I didn't need to, it fit perfect, but wire wheels are real bad, and some grinding wheels are real bad. So if the plastic crack doesn't work, make one that fits properly, because nothing's more annoying than a bench grinder that vibrates, because you're trying to, even if you're sharpening a drill bit, if it's vibrating, it's going to leave little check marks in your work. If you're trying to polish things, it's going to leave check marks in your work. I am going to put this guard back in place. Oh, I'm going to drop all the screws first, folks. I've made sure that my wheel is rotating in the right direction. And one thing I do is I've got a collection of grinders. The reason being is I did a video on making one of these arbors for a wire wheel, and I had to grind it away to balance it. And if I was to go over there and take that wire wheel off, put it back on, I'd probably have to rebalance it again. These grinders are cheap. We pay about 70 bucks for them on sale here in Canada. I imagine down in the US of A they're even cheaper. Unless Trump's got a tariff on them too. You never know, he could have a 600% tariff, right? Could be cheaper to live in Canada than it is the US. But yeah, pick one up when they're on sale. Pick one up off a Facebook Marketplace. Like, you can get them cheap, and you can set them up, and you can true your wheels and balance your wheels, and when you want to use it, it's not a 10-minute endeavor. It's a walkover, plug it in, set it on the bench. If it's balanced, it doesn't bounce off the bench. And there you go. So, folks, give me a thumbs up, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas, because it's before Christmas right now, but it'll be after Christmas before you see this. And Happy New Year. So, have a great day, folks. Almost forgot. I took this off, and the piece I made is taking its place. Now, if I ever go looking for this, guess what? I ain't gonna find it. But oh yes, I am. Take a zip tie, tie this to the back of the grinder. Okay? Then you can find it. The grinding wheel will go on the shelf. I'll use it whenever I have to for my next grinder. Hey, when I need a new grinding wheel, I've got one sitting on the shelf. But this here will get misplaced, thrown in a box, and if I ever need it, I'm not going to find it unless it's tied to the back of the grinder. So, have a great day, folks.